Hey guys, thanks again for listening to my podcast, Miguel's Moment, bringing you episode 3 of Shelter at Home with Brent Goodman. Hope you guys enjoy and take it easy.
Hello.
Check. Hey man, what's
Yo,
up?
not much. What about you?
Just chilling like everybody else, or a majority of the people these days.
Yeah,
What about you, man?
not much. I just got home from visiting my parents up in Sac and
Okay.
drove back down to LA yesterday. So I traveled like half the state in one day.
Yeah. So how's the drive?
It wasn't that bad actually. Like there's like no traffic right now, so it's not that bad.
Yeah, less people off the roads, kind of thing, or more people off
Yeah,
the roads.
for sure. But
That's
yeah,
crazy. So, are you're still working at Apple?
yeah. We're all closed until like we don't really know
Yeah,
when we're
so
coming back. Yeah,
yeah,
kind of
that's the
crazy.
crazy part. I know.
Yeah.
It's insane. How's the videography going?
It's all right. I have a couple music videos I shot. I just haven't edited them yet.
That's good. Yeah, looks like you got a little bit more free time,
Yeah,
as do
exactly.
I, to do all these
For
extra
sure.
things. So, in case people are wondering, whoever is hearing us out there, you want to tell us your name, a little bit of what
Yeah.
you
So my
do?
name is Brandt Goodman. I used to work with Miguel. He used to be my boss at the movie theater. And yeah, I am a videographer, producer, writer, director, all of the above, I guess. But I run a production company called 1920 Media. You can go follow us on really any social media platform or video platform. But yeah,
What what's the
yeah,
handle?
1920
1920
Media.
Media?
So you can go follow us there. But yeah, so I produce podcasts, TV shows, or web series, as I mean. And yeah, just really just creative content.
Cool. So I know you've been doing more on
Hmm.
podcasts as well. Do you have more plans on doing it more frequently now that you're at home more
Yeah,
often,
definitely.
or what are the plans there? What are the plans for the stay in shelter or stay
Yeah,
at home
I
situation for
was
you?
I was thinking because the hard part is or like probably most popular podcast. It's called Fuck Your Sign. It's an astrology podcast, but that has a
Hmm.
co-host with my girlfriend Mila, and so like I guess we're just gonna start doing like over the phone podcasts with them,
Hmm.
which like won't be too bad. There's a lot of podcasts that are like made over the phone, including this one.
Right.
Crazy. Um,
Yeah, I know. I figured I'd get something going while I have.
for sure.
So how do you plan on? Because I just barely figured out that Anchor, you can invite people on the podcast. So I'm literally recording this while I'm having a chat. It's like and I'm assuming you're using your phone.
Sorry, it cut out for a second.
I'm assuming you're using your
Yeah.
phone on this
Hmm.
podcast. Yeah. So I haven't really been testing it out too much. I'm still fairly new to it. So, are you using speakerphone or are you using
Um,
Apple
yeah, I'm using
AirPods?
AirPods right now. Um, yeah,
I feel like that's the
I
best.
agree. Yeah, definitely has the most immersive sound.
Yeah, because it sounds crystal clear.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? It keeps cutting out a little bit on
Yeah,
my
it sounds
end,
crystal
but
clear.
like when it is clear, it sounds really clear.
Yeah, yeah. It could be my phone or my service because I've been having that issue today and
Mm.
yesterday where it's really spotty. I don't
I
know.
think a
Maybe
lot
a
of
lot of people are on the phone, so it's kind of
yeah,
like taking. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
So
Everyone's home.
I'm hoping, I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I go for walks and I listen to podcasts, but um, yeah, I definitely noticed a little bit of I guess I would say stress because everybody's watching Netflix and
Right.
doing their best to stay home.
Totally.
But yeah, so with Anchor, I and they can either join via their computer. Obviously they have headphones
Hmm.
and stuff like that. It works best, and then on the phone. So how do you plan on doing yours? Out of curiosity.
Yeah. I invested in a like a mixing board. And I can actually like Bluetooth
Hmm.
like my phone into the board so it can like pick up signal from it. So I'm probably gonna do it kind of
Wow.
that way. Just do like a FaceTime audio call, so it's a little bit more like clear, and it's not going over like the cell phone airwaves, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so I'll probably do it that way. I have it's called a Rode. It's a Rodecaster, so it's made by Rode. They make a lot of
Hmm.
microphones and stuff, but yeah, that's what we record the podcast on. So yeah, it sounds pretty clear.
Cool.
It makes it just easy to like set it up. I don't have to like really like, I don't know. I kind of just like plug in all my equipment.
Is it yeah, is it like a big heavy amount of equipment, or are we talking about like if you wanted to go mobile, you can go mobile?
Yeah, if I wanted to go mobile, I mean, all I have to really do is just like plug in a power, but like it's a pretty easy like system to like plug into. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel like podcasting is so much more easier now. I mean, hence the whole from the phone right
Hmm.
now. But like, man, like 5 years ago, I was more like I thought I had to have this huge amount of of knowledge
Right.
on how to live stream anything, and now it's
Totally.
like, oh no, just
Yeah.
download this for free, and then do
Hmm.
this for free.
Exactly.
It's crazy how simple it is.
Yeah.
That 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 I haven't really like started looking for other podcasts because I kind of stick to Gary Vee and
Hmm.
Joe Rogan
Okay.
still. But I bet if I start looking at other podcasts, there'll be a lot more popping up, seeing that there's way more podcasting activity
That's what
going
I
on.
was thinking. Yeah. Um, yeah, like right now there's kind of like no excuses. So, yeah.
Yeah, like another thing I've noticed is more people walking out and about. I mean, obviously, hopefully,
Staying away.
practicing
Yeah.
social distancing. Yeah, but I have noticed like because I've been going on my walks every day,
Hmm.
and I've noticed there's more people walking,
Right.
which is good.
Yeah,
Stay healthy.
for sure.
But I just thought it was interesting. It takes a pandemic for us to like get more outdoors.
Yeah, I did go on a hike today, up
Um,
in Griffith, and there wasn't that many people, but it was kind of nice to get some like fresh air and like walk around. So, yeah.
so yeah, you being in LA, me being
Hmm.
in SLO County, it's a little different here. We have like I think last I checked, there's like 33 cases in SLO County. Or I think it's
Dang.
42 now. I can't remember. But it's pretty high. Have you heard anything about
Yeah,
LA? Like what's going on, or specific area of
yeah.
LA?
I'm in like probably I'd consider this like Burbank area, like because I'm in like the San Fernando Valley,
Hmm.
so I'm kind of like tucked away a little bit from LA. It's like on the other side of the hill, like Hollywood and downtown. So like I'm kind of not really um experiencing like too much of like the like worry about cases and stuff. Like I think we like Burbank area has like two confirmed cases or like three maybe. So
Hmm.
it's not too bad. But I know like downtown LA I think has a bit more. So yeah. But I've just been trying to like stay indoors as much as possible. Um and like not really go out unless I like need to go grocery shopping. Mila and I just got a Switch, so we've kind of just been playing Mario Kart like nonstop.
Hey guys, sorry, it looks like we were having a little bit of technical difficulty. Like I mentioned before, I was using my cell phone to create this podcast, so I took my phone off of Wi-Fi. That way it doesn't throttle in between the Wi-Fi and the phone's data. So let me take this moment and please support your local business during these times. They need the help. And I'm sure their food is delicious anyway. So, yeah, shop local while this pandemic continues. Little
All
technical
right.
difficulty there.
Yeah. I think it
It
sounds a
was
little bit better.
yeah. I took myself off of Wi-Fi. I'm just gonna use the regular data. Hopefully, it doesn't
Okay.
disconnect me again.
Right.
Yeah, because every time it can't connect to the Wi-Fi, it'll just be in limbo between the both. So
Okay.
I just took it off. What's the last thing you
hmm
heard me say?
Um, it was about like confirmed cases.
Confirmed cases. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
think.
we have two in
Yeah.
Burbank area.
Hmm.
So so yeah, it doesn't seem
Yeah.
too bad here yet, but obviously, with the state of this, it could change really quickly.
Yeah. I mean, a week ago we had what, three, one.
Right.
So I mean, another week from now it might be 100. And
Right.
even then, they say like those are like tested and
Yeah.
confirmed. So there's probably people
Right.
out there carrying and not showing symptoms, or showing symptoms but haven't gone in yet, or have gone in yet and haven't gotten results. So there's
Right.
definitely a lot more than 40, 40 something.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's gonna get worse before it gets better, and that's the crazy part, man. We're living through a historical moment right now.
Definitely. Well, and I feel like this is a chance for us to really realize like how like inefficient we are as like human beings right now, and especially with like resources like the
Hmm.
internet,
Yeah.
because like it's kind of showing us like, hey, like maybe we don't have to go to like restaurants and like stores like and like all every time, and like we can utilize the internet a little bit better, and like shipping, and like we don't have to rely on these like big stores to like carry everything for us,
Right.
because like the supply chain is fine, it's just like the inefficiency is like people, really, like people in stores and like having to drive somewhere, and like with pollution being so much better right now because like we're not really like driving anywhere, like going places.
Oh yeah, the pollution is insane. The before and after pictures that I saw online
Yeah.
regarding Italy and even
hmm
China, man, that's crazy. I
right.
mean, don't get me wrong. Once we go back, there's like a 50-50 chance. Like it's either gonna like be a lot more, it's gonna be improved where we're more
Yeah,
cautious about it and conscious,
totally.
or it's gonna be worse because we missed out on doing all these things while we were indoors, and
Yeah.
there's gonna be like a flush of people doing more.
hmm
So
uh,
it's we'll find out afterwards, but I mean, it's gonna be an interesting situation afterwards to see where everybody stands.
definitely.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of people have have taken some positive side to this though, because I noticed a lot more people working out, showing videos of them like doing the push-up challenge
Right.
and at home exercises for sure. There's people who like do are trainers that are like they're offering free training videos. I mean, you have a Roku. Like one of the first things suggested is work out at home.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's definitely because Roku has its own streaming service too.
Gotcha.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, if you get like a Roku Express or something, it has
hmm
like options for you to watch. I'm assuming just in case people can't afford Hulu, Netflix. There's still
right.
movies you can watch on there.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to set up the account because I thought before it was Roku's like you just plug in, sign into Netflix, sign into Hulu, whatever you're using. But
Yeah.
when I plugged in this Roku Express, it's like, oh, create an account. So I have to like spend 10 minutes doing that.
Dang.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah,
worth it. I like it.
for sure.
I thought I was gonna buy a new game console or something just so I can have Disney Plus on there
Mm,
and not have to use my laptop all the time. But and then
right.
I found a Roku Express for $25. I'm like, sold.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah. So you entered. slow film festival that,
Hmm.
unfortunately was canceled, but
Right.
moved to online viewing.
Yeah.
Did you see any feedback on that? I haven't really like kept up with that, given everything that was
Um,
going on.
I didn't really see like an uptick in like viewership
Mhm.
that much. And yeah, I didn't really get like much feedback. Like I saw someone gave it a like on the Vimeo, but yeah, like I didn't really see too much big difference. I was really bummed out though, because like I had a really good spot. It was gonna be like closing night, like right after the
Mhm.
awards ceremony, and then yeah, just in a second it's gone.
Do you plan on entering it at other film festivals?
I entered it to the Atlanta Film Festival, and the DC Film Festival, but it wasn't selected for those. So this was kind of be like the closing of like the chapter on the short film for me. Um, so yeah, it was kind of a bummer that like it's not gonna end up being seen. And like I just paid for the DCP to get made. It was like 150
Yeah.
bucks, like
Oh,
probably
that's
like 3 days
insane.
before.
Yeah.
And I went to Santa Monica and actually like got it screened so I could like do a quality check on it.
Right.
So that was cool. Like I actually got to see it like on a screen um, for the first time, but still sucks. It's not going to be
Yeah.
in the Fremont, because I love the Fremont Theater. Like that's where I saw like Star Wars 7, and like I saw Interstellar in 35 millimeter there. So like it has like pretty big significance for me at least. So yeah,
Yeah, I know the cinema world is going to change when this whole thing is over. Hopefully
yeah,
over. It's going to
right,
be completely different. I think cinema, the theaters are going to definitely have to think about how to better prepare for these kind of things. I mean,
right,
nobody really ever sees it coming until it's
yeah,
too late, kind of thing. But
hmm,
I mean, most theaters with restaurants probably are able to still do curbside. Probably are still able to do delivery if they have like a Grubhub tied into it. Or
yeah,
Paso put together this, or I don't know if they brought in a third party or not, but it's called Chow Now. It's a
hmm,
it's kind of like Grubhub, but for like local.
okay,
It's just, so all the proceeds, they don't take anything from whatever you buy from, like, let's say Red Scooter Deli.
yeah, that's nice,
Everything goes down. Yeah, it's pretty cool, and I'm hoping more people are using it because I mean, small business downtown, man. That's like kind of like the livelihood, or that's like the life of Paso, and
right,
it's
yeah.
jobs for a lot of people too.
I went to Dolly's Donuts like before I left to go visit my parents,
Hmm.
and it was like super empty, and like usually around like 10 o'clock they're pretty like, no, not 10. I was probably there around like 11:30, and by then like most of their donuts are kind of gone, and like their main ones are kind of gone, but like it
Yeah,
was still pretty full. So like I just threw in like a couple extra bucks like in the tip jar, because like you gotta like
yeah, you get,
support it a little bit
yeah, absolutely, man.
as much as you
That's gonna
can.
that's yeah. Anything helps. It's gonna be like you know the make or break it. Especially right now with so many people like stocked up at home, and they're gonna eat through that food.
Right.
So nobody's really thinking about eating out. I know I'm not. I want to.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
support them as much as possible. But me working in the movie theater industry is like, I don't even know if we're gonna have an opportunity to reopen. Because we had a
Right.
whole bunch of plans for it, and who
Yeah.
knows how long this is gonna last.
Right.
If it
I was
lasts.
talking I was
Hmm.
talking to a guy on Reddit, and he was the manager of the Taft Theater, or the Fox Theater in Taft.
Uh-huh.
And he was saying like they literally just like renovated everything because like a storm came and like tore the roof down, and like
Yeah.
they were like one of the last holdouts for digital, and so they finally switched to digital, and then like now this happens, and like they had to lay off all their employees, and like they don't think they're gonna come back from it. Like the
Yeah.
theater is just gonna be like closed for good.
I think it's tough to say. Privately owned cinema movie theaters are going to be the tough wants to reopen. The big cinema
Yeah,
ones, obviously, the Regal, Cinemark,
totally.
AMC. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be like kind of taking over. And honestly, if I was a Regal Cinema, I'll be like, all right, I'm going to look for which ones have closed as far as privately owned and take over those.
Right.
Make it a Regal, but I mean, that's an unfortunate situation for the independently owned theater.
Yeah,
But I mean, I'm hoping because like if we come back strong because all these movies got pushed back and
yeah,
postponed, and I mean, we'd have a pretty hefty lineup for the second part of the year if that
definitely.
if it
Yeah,
lasts that long. I mean, think about it.
right.
Black Widow got pushed back, or
Hmm.
postponed the release date.
Move
Mulan.
on. Yeah,
Um, Universal did something crazy though. Like Trolls went on demand.
digital. Yeah,
Yeah, digital on demand, and so they released all their Universal movies along with it. So like, I think
right.
Bad Boys is Universal, and then Invisible Man.
Yeah,
So it's interesting. I'm kind of expecting Disney to do something similar, which they kind of did. Anything like digital, like DVD releases that we're gonna
yeah,
do, and on their streaming, they
right.
released it earlier. But
Yeah,
I'm kind of hoping for that Black Widow to come out earlier, even though it might hurt the movie theaters later. You
yeah,
know, it's one of those anticipated movies that you kind of don't want to hold out.
right. Especially a big
I'm
movie
sure.
like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah,
one. I mean, so what is it? The new 007 movie that's gonna come out got postponed until
yeah,
November.
crazy.
Uh, it's I don't know how it's gonna throw everything off, but I know for the at least the second part of the year, assuming this is all over, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, I missed the movie theater," because I'm already
Yeah,
hearing it from people. We went one weekend so far without opening, and I'm
yeah,
already hearing people goes like, "Oh man, my weekly movie, my the I need my popcorn, I need my movie." Like
yeah,
it's still gonna there's still some nostalgic business there that people are missing.
totally. Yeah, I definitely miss the movie theater. I go to the one actually at Universal Studios at City Walk, and yeah, they're closed. Like the whole City Walk and Universal is like completely closed down right now. But yeah, I think the last movie I saw was it was actually The Invisible Man. No, 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 no. I saw Onward in
Hmm.
IMAX, and um, yeah, I think like 2 days later they all decided to close, and now Onward's going to be on Disney Plus, and it's already out on digital now. It just feels weird. Like this is definitely a weird time.
I know it feels like out of a dream, man. Because like we've seen
Yeah,
all these movies come out, and there a lot of them are being referenced now, like Contagion.
yeah,
How there was a virus spread via touch and person to person contact,
yeah,
and then like there's older movies coming back being popular on Netflix or Stars.
yeah,
For example, Osmosis Jones. I don't know if you remember that one. It's an
yeah. I
animated movie.
do.
That one's
Trending.
popular on the trending list, which obviously makes sense now when you think about it.
Right.
But I think it's interesting how all these older movies that touched on viruses and pandemics are like
Mm-hmm.
getting a second wind, pretty much.
Totally.
Yeah. Um, so I I know there's like celebrities who have been tested and are doing okay and stuff, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard of any celebrity that like got tested positive and isn't doing okay.
Right. Well, there was a. I mean, he wasn't really like super famous, but he was really influential. Like this playwright who was like 81, passed away today because of coronavirus. I forget his name, but I've
Hmm.
heard of a few of his plays that he wrote. But he was like a super big like staple in the like in Broadway in the like 80s. He
Yeah, I
wrote
mean,
over like 40 plays or something.
oh my God.
Yeah. So
I mean, being 81, I'm sure that's probably one of the main reasons or main underlying issues that, didn't give him a fighting chance. But
right.
I'm starting to see articles where healthy people are, in fact, um, showing symptoms, and so I think one of them is in the ICU or something along those lines. I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast, and they mentioned like this fitness instructor who's sick and in the hospital.
Mm.
So I'm assuming there's way more than just 16 and over or more, vulnerable, and I think it's starting to show that I think everybody's vulnerable, to be honest.
Yeah, and especially like the concern right now, I think is like people who vape, like they're putting their lungs like in a pretty like tough place already
Hmm.
by vaping. So like coronavirus being entered into your system, because it's a pretty like it's a pretty nasty virus. Like it's not just like you get sick, you recover from it, and like you're good. Like it leaves pretty long term like damage to your lungs, like even after you've recovered from it. So it's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. So what are your plans to do after? So let's assume it finishes. I
Hmm.
mean, let's say in 2 months.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you want to do? Are you gonna like go straight out and be like, yes,
Hmm.
world, and then go to Universal and check out a movie? Like, what? Like, or are you gonna like wait another couple weeks or more?
I'll probably wait a while. Like I probably won't really go anywhere until like my job opens back up because like I don't think Apple is going to be the one that opens like the stores prematurely. So I think that'll
Yeah.
be like a pretty good sign of like when it feels safe enough to like go out. So I'll probably wait until then, but I think like I probably would hold off on seeing a movie until then, but yeah, I don't really know what I'm gonna do next. Right now I'm kind of just trying to focus on like writing a screenplay. I've been kind of like doing page by page like
Hmm.
for a while, so I think this will be like good enough time for me to like polish up a first draft and like, you know, give it another like try. So we'll see how it all.
So let's say you finish the screenplay. How are you
Hmm.
gonna video? Like, are you gonna videotape only with people in your household, or are you gonna like have people submit their versions or their video clips of whatever it is you're doing, and then you're gonna piece it together? Because that'd be actually kind of cool.
That would be
Like,
cool.
it'd be cool. Like different parts of the movie are like different angles and approaches to the scene, kind of
Right.
thing. But it's all the same script.
Totally.
That'd be kind of crazy, man.
That would be crazy. Yeah, this is one that like it's I'm trying to like get it sold to
Okay.
like either a streaming service or something. Like it's an idea I've had for a while. But that would be a good idea for like another like script idea. I just yeah, this one's just really hard because it's like a period piece film. So
Hmm.
like it would be pretty expensive to do, and like I even like even when I started writing it, like I knew like even if I finish it and like it gets sold, like there's a good possibility like I won't be able to like direct it or like have any like super big creative
Right.
influence in on it. Um, but yeah, it's basically like set in like the 1940s in Hollywood. So it's very like geographically specific and like um it would be a little bit of a higher budget. So yeah,
Right.
but hopefully like I've been trying to like read a lot and get a lot of stuff on the page, so hoping it works out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it works out for you too, man. So when you say sell the script,
Hmm.
so I'm assuming LA is the best area to do that, but is there like an online situation that you like submit it, or do you give them like the first 2 pages, and then if they want more, they have to pay for it? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, you can submit it to like I know like there's something called the blacklist, the Hollywood blacklist, and that's like it's basically the screenplays that are really popular but haven't been sold yet.
Right.
So there's that that I could sell. That I wouldn't sell it to it, but that would be just a way for me to like get it out there in the world and like have people read it. But realistically, I'd have to like get an agent or like um, a talent manager and have them like shop the script around to producers and like production companies that are looking for stories or like a project like that, and then they'd sell it to like one of those companies. But yeah, I'm trying to build up my writer's portfolio, because it's important to have like more than just like one like good script. You want to have like at least like 2 or 3 good screenplays. That way, like, people take you seriously and like know that you're actually dedicated to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be
Are there any? Yeah.
it's gonna be a long process, but it's something, I've been really working at for a while. So
Yeah, I mean, if you look at anybody's career, it takes a while.
yeah,
So, I mean, and you're pretty young, man. You're what, like 23,
22.
24, 20, even younger. So it's gonna, I mean, by the time you reach my age, you're gonna be like, that means you put eight more years into it once you reach my age.
Dang, yeah.
Which is the thing. I mean, how many, scripts can you do in 8 years?
Yeah.
Is there any script writer that you kind of like use as an example on how your career path, what you want to go? Or
Yeah, I mean, I'd say probably like Paul Thomas Anderson might be like the like closest person I would say I'd want to like be close to, because he did like Boogie Nights, and like he did that when he was like really young, and then he went on to direct like There Will Be Blood and like Magnolia. So he progressed in his career pretty quickly, but not only just because of that, like I want to emulate his career, but like just the stories he tries to tell, um, is kind of the way I want to tell them, and a lot of his like screenplays um, are kind of in the same like tonal like vein, I'd say, as
yeah,
mine are. So like right now, which like I didn't really like grow up watching his movies a lot, so he's kind of like a newfound like filmmaker for me, like inspiration. But like thinking that's just kind of in the sense of like being a writer, but I'd say like as a director, um, Greta Gerwig is probably like my number one like biggest inspiration, as like I was actually like directing instead of just like page wise, because I think she's
right.
incredibly talented, and I think she tells stories from a really like emotional and like personal place, and like obviously any filmmaker wants to emulate that. So I'd say like she's probably like, in terms of like an all around filmmaker, she's probably it for me.
So are you looking for? I mean, besides the credits
Hmm.
and the or IMDb profile, are you looking for like fame a little bit? Like you want people to recognize your face or your name? Because I know it's a little different now with social media being around. I mean, people know certain directors and script writers. Um, so where do you see yourself, like, ideally in the future? Like, do you want people to like, oh, that's Brent Goodman?
Like I could really care less about the fame, I'd say. Like really,
Mm-hmm.
if like what means more to me is like when people actually like have an emotional connection to like something I've worked on, and like if it's something that's really
Mm-hmm.
personal, like I got a lot of really good feedback from the Paso short film that I made, and like yeah, I got a lot of views from it. I was in a couple like newspapers for it, but like the most meaningful part to me was probably like just people reaching out and like messaging me on Facebook, like telling me like what they thought of it and like how much it really like meant to them, or like the sentimental value of it. So like really, if that's like the most I get for my career, is that like people connect with my films and like enjoy them, that would be nice. But also it'd be nice to just be like financially comfortable, and like
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of money like involved in film. So like if I could just be like financially comfortable, and like my one job is to like write and direct movies like for the rest of my life, like that would be really happy. I could care less about like people knowing my name, or stuff like that.
Yeah. So with the Paso Robles project.
Hmm.
I can't remember what it was called. It was like, what was that one called again? The video?
It was Paso Robles a Goodbye Story.
Paso Robles, a Goodbye Story. Did you get anybody who like messaged you and said, "Hey, I used to live in Paso Robles," and this kind of like brought it back, on my mind?
Yeah,
Did you pretty much change people's like mind about visiting or something like that?
I think
Did you
I
hear
think it
anything
definitely
like
pulled
that?
on some heartstrings a little bit.
Hmm.
I mean, I really love Paso Robles, and like I ideally wish I like didn't have to move like to be like going after the career that I want to be going to. And
Hmm.
so like I think I just really put a lot into the short film emotionally, and people really resonated with that. So like I did get a lot of people who were like, oh, I grew up on the Central Coast, and like you really captured like the beauty of it, and like I had a lot of people like wishing me well on like starting my career in LA. So I don't know, it just felt really nice, and it felt like it was a good place to like start from, like moving to a new place. It really felt like I had people rooting for me like in my hometown. So it felt good. And yeah, I even had like someone I posted on Reddit because I try to like post things on Reddit just to like get a little bit more,
Yeah.
just to see like what the like someone who doesn't know me like they're not seeing my stuff on social media and then clicking on it, like just someone who they don't know. But I actually had someone who commented, they're like, I grew up on the Central Coast. I grew up in Paso and Santa Maria, and like this really brought me back, and like I really miss my hometown. Um, so yeah, I got a lot of good stuff like that from it. Good feedback.
Do you have any plans on doing a follow-up video of some sort?
I think somewhere in the future. I kind of planned on like doing a few vlogs and stuff in the same vein as the short film, just to kind of give like a follow-up video. But because everywhere's closed right now, it's kind of hard to like do that. I really wanted to do one on like John's Video Palace closing, because that's like,
Oh
but
yes.
since it's like kind of closed right now, I don't think I'll be able to like really like go in there and you know.
Yeah. It would have been tough. I mean, when I went in there
Hmm.
to buy a couple movies, um, it was very interesting because I mean, every time I went there before the news broke out that he was selling or
Yeah.
closing, um, it was it was very like slow. I would see one other person, maybe another person, a couple in
Right.
there. Um, but when I went in there two times, there was at least six, seven other couples
Mm.
there with a few more
Okay.
individuals. So I mean, obviously people were buying up the
Yeah.
DVDs. But I mean, if you were trying to have a conversation with John while he was closing
Yeah.
up, he already had a script that he was going to tell you. These are the prices of the
Right.
movies. They all have to go. We're closing down after this many
Yeah.
years, and that was it. Because I noticed people come in, hey John, this is the price of the movies. Everything has to go. We're closing
Yeah.
down after so many years. And like he literally was saying that same script to every
Dang.
single person. So like I feel like I can only imagine emotionally where he was
Yeah.
at because I mean I can't honestly I can't even imagine. I take that back. I can't imagine where he is emotionally or in the
Right.
headspace, because that was his bread and butter for a very
Yeah.
long
I think
time.
they had their like 25th anniversary last year.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, I owe John a lot because like growing up, he used to like really like because I've wanted to be a filmmaker for such a long time. Like uh like going into like my teenage years, like I already knew I wanted to be a filmmaker, but he was really he was really helpful to me, and like allowed me to like film stuff in like a store if I wanted like a video store. So yeah, it's good. It's definitely a huge loss for sure. And even though I don't live there, it's gonna be like a little like nostalgia piece, and like emotionally it's gonna be weird for that not to be there.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can find him on Facebook and things, but I think you should send him that video you made. I don't know if you have or not,
Yeah, I haven't showed
but
it
if
to
you
him.
haven't, you should definitely.
I should.
Yeah, you should definitely, because it was pretty cool seeing that part of Paso in that
Yeah.
video.
I actually didn't film that short film with his permission. I kind of just like walked in there and like had my brother like film it. So that was like the one thing that I like didn't ask for permission to film there. But it was kind of just one of those things where I was like, I'm sure he would be fine with it. So like I kind of just didn't want to like bother him. And it was like super quick too.
Was he working that
No, it was
day,
someone else
or
behind the counter.
was one of his
Yeah, it was one of
employees?
his employees, and we
Uh,
kind of like did it without like I don't know, we were kind of being like pretty inconspicuous, and like there was a few other people in there, so
uh-huh.
yeah. Um, but yeah, I just forgot about that like I didn't ask him if we could film in there.
That'll be funny. Well, I think I mean, if I were him, I'm sure I'd be a little bit like teary-eyed after I see that, especially after the whole closing
Yeah.
situation. Um, but I don't know, man. I would reach. I don't think I probably saw his wife because I saw his wife posting stuff on
Okay.
behalf of Video
Yeah.
Palace because I saw her responding to like questions about which videos and all that
Yeah.
stuff. So if you go to Video Palace Facebook page and reach out to her and like, hey, here's a video, by the way, here's a link.
Right.
I'm sure they'll be happy about it. But that's up to you. And I think it'd be kind of cool to see. I mean, if we can somehow record his reaction, that'd be pretty
Yeah,
cool too. But
definitely.
I mean, that's taking it a step
Yeah.
further. um, so yeah, well, it's a good thing you asked me about the movie theater, then,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
That was pretty
Yeah.
quick.
That was really good. Like that I think that really like topped the whole like video off was that scene.
Mhm.
But yeah. And the whole project like I had nothing written down, like I had no idea of like exactly what I wanted it to be. Like I was kind of just going for it and like just like went out and like shot with my friends. And my brother was helping me film the stuff I was in front of the camera for. But yeah, like I kind of just like I kind of like I said, I want to tell stories from like an emotional place, and I feel like that was kind of where I was like shooting from the hip from was just like what does this feel like to me, and like what is leaving and like reflecting
Right.
on this kind of feel like, and like how can I put that in front of the camera. So yeah.
Well, I'm happy you did it, man. If you post it again, I'll share it as much as possible because it was a really
Thanks,
good
man.
video. Um,
I'll have to send you the DCP just in case you ever want to use it for something.
yeah. So I remember you kind of messed around with the DCP a little
Yeah.
bit, or creating
Hmm.
your own DCP. Did you ever end up getting that software,
No,
or
I
you
really
kind of put
I
that
put
on
that on
hold?
hold. I really wanted to get it, but it's just like it's a lot of money right now. But I think if I'm really gonna start like putting a lot of effort into like making short films and trying to get into festivals, I'll probably do that because it'll save me some money at some point. Because for that 3 minute video, it was like $150 to get it on like a hard drive and like a DCP.
Yeah, it's because it takes
Yeah,
time. You got people, putting it together for you because they have to break it apart and then put it back
yeah.
together. And then I think the Pete, he's part of, I can't remember. Yeah, I'm terrible with names, but he did Full
Oh
Bore.
yeah,
Um,
Brian.
he, yeah, he did a DCP. He wanted to try out Dan the Man, Forging
Okay,
Legacy. Um, and he made it, and he figured it out, and he brought it to the theater. We tested it out, and I was really happy he figured it out. But he told me like for that 8 minutes, it took him like 4 or 5
damn,
hours or something like that. And that's just because it's just converting over to
damn,
DCP.
that's crazy.
Yeah, so I can only imagine. Like, can you imagine being an hourly worker doing
Right.
this stuff? Obviously, you don't want to stay there and watch it, being
Yeah.
converted, but it still takes time and processing power and all that stuff. So I can see why it's more
Yeah.
expensive. But I mean, if you have the know-how and the computing power to do
Totally.
it, just go ahead and do it
Yeah.
yourself. Yeah.
The nice thing was like they did let me go to their facility, and like they have like a small like screening room, so I did get to like watch it on the big screen. So like that in itself was kind of worth like the $150 to kind of like listen to it in like a room that's like Dolby certified, and like, you know, like an actual like projector
Yeah.
screen. So it was pretty cool, and a lot of the shots held up pretty well. Like on a big screen, I was kind of worried, like, like, you know, my camera is not like,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, a professional like cinema camera, but yeah, it held up. It held up pretty well, like the colors and, you know, the resolution.
Yeah. Well, did they end up giving you the DCP since you paid
I
for
haven't
it?
gotten it in the mail, but the film festival said they're gonna send them back sometime this week, so I should be getting it back. And I also ordered a Blu-ray version just because I like physical media, so, you know,
Oh
I
yeah.
kind of wanted to just get it on a disc.
Yeah. I'm assuming Blu-ray is very similar, where it just takes time to render and
Yeah, and
everything.
I don't even know where to get like a like Blu-ray burner from.
You know, if you find it, let me know because I've never actually seen or heard of
Yeah,
one. I just know Blu-rays
totally.
exist.
Yeah. Well, because with the projectors, you can connect like a Blu-ray player to it, right? And it can
Well,
upscale.
yeah, because you're using if you yeah if you have the video quality, obviously you want it to be
Mm-hmm.
1080p kind of thing. Because 720, you start really stretching
Right.
it a little bit. It looks a little
Mm-hmm.
pixelated or fuzzy, but 1080p works perfectly
Yeah.
fine. Um, but yeah, we use the HDMI to DVI for the video, and then depending on what you know device we're using or
Mm-hmm.
hardware, I would use a digital output if I could, but our RCA cable works just
Okay.
as fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I actually want to try doing an Xbox at
Mm-hmm.
some point or a PlayStation
Right.
4 and see if we can, get in the esports
That would be
industry.
cool.
But I don't know what that takes. So, I mean, I want to do more, but it's kind of tough because all these ideas go through my head, and then I get these like little walls that say you got to do some work
Yeah.
to figure it out. And I'm just like, oh man, do I want to put 50, 60 hours in the next few weeks to, get
Yeah.
started, you know? And those are the times where I like, man, I hope there, I talk to somebody who's into this kind of thing, video games, for
Right.
example, and is willing to be like, help me lead the thing. But most of the gamers I know stick to just gaming, and they don't really like promote any
Yeah.
events. And we're a small town, so it's still a little tech
Right.
heavy here. And then talking to GameStop will not
Yeah.
help me because they're
Right.
corporate. There's only so much. There's only so much they can do with permissions they have already with midnight
Totally.
releases and all
Yeah.
stuff. But
And I'll,
it'd be kind of cool to get esports on the main
definitely.
screen on the big stage.
Absolutely. Yeah. I've always wanted to like play like Call of Duty or something on like a big screen like that. That would be crazy.
Yeah, Call of Duty, Smash
Mm-hmm.
Bros. I mean, all the
Totally.
big games. Um, yeah, because I got like some equipment to be able to play it because we tested an Xbox. For some reason, the audio wasn't
Okay.
working, and that's probably because the HDMI was also carrying the audio, so it was hard to
Right.
split it from
Yeah.
the Xbox. So I got this other like
Yeah.
splitter to like for lack of better words, where I plug it in via HDMI, and then it splits the video and the audio to HDMI again and digital output. So I never got a chance to try it out again, but once we're back open, and hopefully we are, I'm definitely gonna try it and try to convince somebody to help me out with it and make some sort
Right.
of event because esports is growing,
Absolutely.
man. Right now, from what I understand, is there's esports events, but there's no actual like league. There's no like solid, national league. It's all like
Oh, okay.
one-offs in this city,
Yeah.
that city. Gary Vee talks about a little bit. They have the Minnesota something. I can't remember what the name was, but they have an actual team.
Gotcha.
So it'd be kind of cool to see how
Totally.
far that goes. And then don't even get me started on augmented reality, man.
Yeah.
I've been talking about that lately because everybody's
Right.
stuck at home.
Yeah, especially with like Apple releasing that iPad with the LiDAR, like it's iPad Pro, but it has a LiDAR like camera basically. So it's like a 2D or it's like a 3D
Mm-hmm.
camera. So it just makes like augmented reality work like so much better. So I think that's really like I think Apple is honestly kind of like ahead of everything. So like
They've
yeah.
always been.
Um, so yeah, it's gonna be crazy to see how it turns out.
It'd be crazy to see if Apple and Tesla decide to become
Right.
one company.
That would be crazy.
That'd be
Mm-hmm.
insane. That'd be so crazy. I mean, I'm sure Tesla can hold its own when it comes to like, mobile technology, especially with the self-driving cars
Yeah.
and everything. But I mean, to be able to have, an Apple software included with that, that'd be an interesting
Yeah,
situation
definitely.
there. I watched I recently watched the movie
Oh yeah, how
Upgrade.
was it?
I don't know if you remember that in theaters. It was good up until the very ending. I was very
Okay.
disappointed. It was left. I mean, the easiest way I can put it, it was left open
Mm.
ended, but not in the favor of the
Okay.
protagonist.
Interesting.
So, and I didn't like that. But then again, I wasn't really expecting anything much out of it. It went straight to, I think it went straight to
I
DVD.
think
I
it was
can't
in
remember. It
theaters.
almost went to our cinema for a minute
Gotcha.
probably because I remember trying to watch it and I didn't find it anywhere until it went on
Gotcha.
DVD.
Yeah,
But they have self-driving
mm,
cars and video conferencing in the cars.
that's
It was
cool.
insane.
Um,
So yeah, we'll be
yeah,
there
did you
soon.
watch The Invisible Man?
I
What'd you think?
did. I did. The suits was very
Yeah.
interesting. I feel like I was expecting to be some sort of like um, DNA enhancement, but obviously it
Right.
wasn't. It was more
Yeah.
technology based. But overall, it was very
Yeah. I liked
suspenseful.
it
I
too.
liked it. It kept you on the edge. It kept you on the edge of your seat up until you find out that it's not like it's
Right.
just technology. After that, I'm just like it became very
Mm.
predictable.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I
But
definitely think there was some problems with the movie for sure, but it I don't know. It did its job for me, and I think it's a good like first like jumping off point for like when they if they want to do other movies like Frankenstein or like Dracula, stuff like that, you know?
well, that was kind of what the Mummy was meant
Yeah,
to start when it came out with Tom Cruise. It was called the Dark
right.
Universe, I believe, and they were gonna have some sort of werewolf and
Hmm.
vampire team, but it did so terrible. Like it kind of got
Yeah.
scrapped. I'm not sure because I know what you're talking about with the
Hmm.
Invisible Man. I'm not sure if they're gonna do that because technically it's now an
Right.
Invisible Woman. The guy's not available anymore to be the
Right.
Invisible Man. But we'll see. I don't know if it ties into that. I haven't really read any articles in
I
regards to
think
that.
the director
I don't
said
know
he
if it's
wants to
tied
do
in.
a Dracula movie or a Bride of Frankenstein movie, I think. Something like that. But they're in talks to do more like monster movies.
Yeah, I did see something about
Yeah.
Dracula. With Morbius coming out, I think they're gonna try to ride that train
Yeah,
again. Try to get
totally.
back on, on the horse and be like, well, everybody's gonna love Morbius,
Hopefully.
hopefully, with Jared
Yeah. I
Leto.
don't like Jared Leto, but He almost
Yeah,
ruined
he's.
Blade Runner for me. I could.
I never watched
Yeah,
it.
it's
The
really
new
good,
one.
but his performance is really awful in it.
Yeah, I need to watch that one. I never watched the original one with the Harrison Ford, and this
Yeah,
is a sequel, right?
the original is fantastic too.
Yeah, I don't know. It came out like the same time period as
Hmm.
Tron or something. Like it was very scientific, futuristic
Yeah.
kind of movie. I love Tron, but I started watching the
Hmm.
original Tron, and I was just like, okay, I'm bored.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's just a generation issue with me.
Yeah, the original Tron, yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
boring, but I love Tron Legacy. That's probably one of my favorite, like most underrated movies that I like. Hmm.
yeah, it was really good. It kind of reminded me a lot of like The
Definitely.
Matrix. Like he was like in that
Yeah.
digital world, uh, and I don't know. I always thought they were gonna make another one, but I guess I'm wrong. Kind of like there's other movies that like you always think there's gonna be a second one. For example,
Oh
Iron Man
yeah,
4.
I do.
Remember that? I actually enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't, and I actually did enjoy it. And I was like, oh man, I can't wait for the next one because there's obviously more
Right.
numbers with
Yeah.
powers.
I forgot who directed that one.
But
But yeah,
yeah,
I remember liking it when it came out, but I can't remember um I can't remember like the last time I watched it or even remember when I watched it.
yeah. So the director was DJ Caruso.
Oh yeah, I forget what else he's directed, but
I Am Number 4, and he's
oh
done
yeah,
Eagle
Eagle Eye,
Eye, Triple X.
Triple X.
I actually liked
Eagle Eye
Eagle
was
Eye.
pretty good,
That was
yeah,
pretty good.
definitely.
It's like what he had a
Yeah.
twin, which is very interesting. Oh, he's rumored to do GI Joe Ever
Hmm.
Vigilant. So he's done
I like Disturbia. That
Disturbia.
was a good movie.
Done. Oh, it's going back to the 90s now. So he kind of
Yeah.
spaces out his stuff, I guess. There's, a lot of these movies people don't realize it takes a
Hmm.
couple of years to make. And I'm surprised, like The Rock and Kevin Hart, and they come out with so many movies all at once. I'm like, Jesus, what, they have
Right.
time for all this? And they go on tour, and The Rock trains every morning.
Hmm.
It's pretty insane, man. But I guess, I mean, if
Right.
that's your career, and like, because I'm thinking in the sense of I have a
Yeah,
job to go to.
that is their
So,
job.
but yeah, their job is to
Hmm.
look fit, do action movies, and entertain people.
Totally.
Yeah. Well, man, we've been talking
Hmm.
for a while now. You wanna
Sure.
call it?
Yeah, I had a good time though.
All right, man. Well, appreciate it, man. I'm sure we'll be talking
Yeah.
again soon. Hopefully, in person,
Yeah.
at some point after this whole thing is over.
Yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man,
For
stay
sure.
safe
I'm
out
writing
there.
a web series that takes place in a movie theater, so maybe we should film that.
Oh,
Yeah,
hit me up. Yeah, definitely. If it moves forward, let me know.
for
I'm
sure,
more than
man.
happy to help. All right, man.
You too, buddy.
Thanks once again for listening to Miguel's Moment Shelter and Home Edition. Stay tuned for more, and stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Drink water, lots of fluids, and I'll see you guys on the other side.